a very, very short video. This is just about switching things on in the right order, but it's just as important to your setup to get right as anything else that's come before it. So the first thing that I'm going to switch on is my computer. That's going to go on first because, well, if I switch my speakers on first, they'll all power up, and then when the computer activates, they'll send a signal to the speakers, and that will create a pop sound, and we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch the computer on first. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll switch the plug on first, shall I? That'll be a really good idea. Plug on first, power would be nice, and then we'll have our computer on there. Should now get an on sound. Did I press that right? Ah, now I did. We know the computer's on straight away because we get lights on our keyboard just here. And a lovely R sound. Once that's come on, we should get the login screen. And once we've got the login screen, we know then that everything within the computer is set up for audio, and we can actually switch on our speakers. So we're just going to wait a second for that to happen. The last thing that needs to go on is your drum machine itself. A lot of people forget that needs switching on. That certainly does need switching on. I'll show you where the power is in a second. So I've got my login screen. I'm going to go to the back of my speakers, and I'm going to flick on my speakers, like so. Something else to make sure is correct back here is that the volume on the back of the speakers is actually turned up. I usually leave them at halfway. If they're like that, as in turned all the way to the left, that speaker will register as off, which means that you will get no sound. So if you have no sound during your setup, it's well worth checking that the speakers are actually turned up. So my speakers should be on, and I should have a blue light, which I do on both sides. Lovely. And the last thing I can switch on is my drum pad. The switch for the drum pad sits just to the right of where you plugged it in, or the other orange sticker there. So if I press that little button there, we get some lights, and my drum pad should now be on and working, which it is. That's the setup switched on and ready to go.